believe that there are three pieces of advice I would give. The first piece is to focus on being a collector and not a climber. And a climber is a person who only focuses on moving up the corporate ladder, but a collector is a person who focuses on collecting expertise and experiences and skills and abilities. They focus on developing and cultivating relationships and networks. Because what you will find in corporate spaces, sometimes it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And when you spend time collecting, for lack of a better word, networks and people and experiences and skills, I think you become more marketable. You have skills and abilities and expertise that are transferable to different types of professions and industries and different types of companies. And I think that it will allow you to be more of a free agent in your career, because you have a multitude of ways that you can add value to an organization. So I would say focus on collecting as many skills and abilities and expertise as you can, because you become more marketable and you're not limited to a certain profession, a certain company, or a certain industry. The second thing I would say is to remember that success is spiritual and not just strategic. I think through college and in graduate school, we focused on planning and goal setting and trends and all those different types of metrics, which are important. But there's something to be said about developing the spiritual side as far as intuition. That is spiritual. Being able to read a room, being able to read motives, those things are spiritual. Creativity is spiritual. When I think about courage is spiritual. Having faith in yourself and faith in God and faith in the process, that's spiritual. Favor is spiritual. Favor is when you have influence with people and you have influence with decision makers. I think those are spiritual. So I think it's important to focus on the spiritual aspect of your career, not just the strategic. They both are important, but don't undermine all the non-tangibles or the soft skills, because I think that's really important, especially when you start talking about what will help you be fruitful. What helps you be fruitful and faithful is when you know that you are divinely created and you are divinely grounded, so that you don't feel that you have to be beholden to any person or career, or beholden to any type of institution to fully self-actualize. The third piece of advice I would say is to make sure you develop yourself as much as you develop your skills. What I have seen from people who start to undermine their career is that their private pain shows up in public places. And so we have to tend to the parts of us that may be vulnerable, because stress has a way of squeezing the best out of us, but it also has a way of squeezing the worst out of us. And I think that when I evaluate what has happened in my life and also the lives of many of the people that I have counseled, is that their internal demons, their internal secrets is what sabotage them. Their thirst and hunger for power, their thirst and hunger for greed, their dependence on drugs and alcohol and sex and all those types of different things made them sabotage their career. Because sometimes it's not the external enemy, it's the enemy. And so I think we have to be focused as we go up the ladder and as we develop our businesses and develop our careers, to of course keep working on the skill, but also keep working on the self, because the more you're grounded, the more successful you can be. So those are three things that I have found to be very useful and helpful in my own career, and that's some advice that I will offer to all of you today.